What's going on? Welcome to another episode of the Impel Forward podcast. I'm your host, Leon, and that is my co-host, Rene.
Hello.
Right now, she's mad. We're looking at these property taxes that has skyrocketed that everybody's talking about.
It
What's
is.
going
It's
on?
real big. It's definitely going to be a sticker shock. It's going to be to me. It's going to be a sticker shock to those that are on fixed incomes, right?
Mm-hmm.
Um, it's going to be a sticker shock to those who may pay their taxes and insurance out of pocket, right? So they pay them yearly on their own versus having an escrow account. Which is in their mortgage when they're making a payment on their mortgage payment, they're paying principal, interest, taxes, and insurance. Even the people that are, have the escrow account set up, it's going to be an increase because new year, they're going to reanalyze your escrow, right? So they want to make sure that what you're paying into your escrow is going to be enough to cover all of the bills, or I would say utilities that they have to pay out, such as your hazard insurance. Some people have mortgage insurance, and then your state taxes, or city taxes, whatever you have. Some states have multiple taxes, or they pay their taxes quarterly or twice a month.
Right.
So it is definitely going to be an increase. It looks like the bill was it was passed in 2024 for 2025 tax increase.
So are people appealing or what?
Here's what you can do. I don't know if a lot of people read through their mail. I know sometimes situation avoidance is big for a lot of people, especially in our community, right? But on the letter, you can appeal. You can appeal. You can also hire your own appraiser to come out and appraise your property. It can be expensive. Sometimes it can cost the amount in which your increase would be, right? So you're paying $800 for a decrease of $200. You get what I mean in payments. So sometimes you gotta weigh out the options.
So appraisal is about $800. I thought it was about $300.
It can be. I mean, it can be anywhere. Depends on who you go through, right? What do you always tell me? My price is my price, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So if you're hiring a independent appraiser, their price is their price. Now, the more popular and well known they are in the community, of course, they're going to be more expensive, because that means that they know a lot of they're very familiar, right? They know the process in your county or state, wherever you have you. And so they're going to provide you with the best estimate, meaning that they probably haven't had any issues, and everything has been ran smoothly with them. They've notified any type of problems, or maybe some people may inflate their amounts. Maybe he's never had any issues, of misconduct or anything on that level. But definitely in the letter that was sent out to all of us North Carolinians within the last month or so, there is an appeal process. There's also a process for people on fixed incomes in the senior community. Definitely take advantage of that, because they may have some abatements that you can opt into, meaning that you won't have to pay the full amount at all, and maybe the state will cover it, or you won't have to pay it at all. So definitely, if you feel the need to appeal the process and you feel like they've inflated your numbers, I would take advantage of all of the different appeal options that you can, but within your means.
Yeah.
Don't spend more than what you're going to have to pay out.
Yeah. I just learned about 2 years ago that you could appeal these things. I didn't know that. Somebody told me. One of my customers at the barbershop told me that.
Everything can be appealed. You can appeal your, unemployment, decision. Maybe they accused you of, receiving additional weeks of unemployment when you worked and there was some sort of discrepancy. That can be appealed. I've appealed that. I've won. But it's all about how you feel in that fight, right? Do you have time and the effort to spend money or time into doing it?
Right.
But it's definitely doable. Also, with increasing payments, your insurance, you don't have to keep the same insurance. You can shop around.
No, you sure can. Yeah, I was in my insurance office today, but it wasn't for that though. It was
But you can
life
definitely
insurance.
shop around. Costco has insurance. Did you know that?
Man, you love some Costco now. Costco
I'm
gonna come
trying to
up
tell
every
you.
time we talk, man.
Listen, they keep surprising me every week. They got insurance. You can get, a casket. You can get a car. They making your medicine, your eyeglasses, your eye checked. At this point,
Yeah.
it's a one-stop shop.
Look, now y'all see me. I'm looking a little tired. I know I probably sound stuffy. I got a
Yes.
little cold or something. I don't know what's going on. I got something.
You got a
Look,
little flu? Well, you been
I'm
outside?
yeah, I've been outside. I don't not outside like you be outside, but I've been outside.
I
I've
mean,
been
you're sick.
outside. Yeah. So
That,
so
you know,
bear with me, not bear with y'all.
bear with you.
And make sure you go to impelforwardmerch.com, impelforwardmerch.com, all things impel forward. Yeah,
That's what today's
impelforwardmerch.com.
sponsor and every
Yeah.
sponsor
Yeah.
is impelforwardmerch.com. We love that
Yeah.
here, not only because this is his podcast, but because the quality is amazing.
Thank
So
you.
you're welcome.
Do my best.
Let's get into changes. What do you think are some of the people's biggest, fears of where we're at now, as far as with, being laid off or terminated and unemployed? What do you
Biggest
think
fear?
of the temperature right now?
Well, the temperatures. Larry just joined us. What's going on, the modified
There's a guy.
gentleman?
What's up, team? What's up with
There's
y'all, man?
a guy. We're talking about the temperature of where we're at right now in America with the different layoffs, the terminations, not just federal government, because we're seeing it every day, right? We just saw, I think Starbucks just laid off. We're going to lay off 1,100 people.
Oh, I didn't see that. Starbucks?
Oh, yeah. Starbucks is laying off people. Some people are forced to go back into the office, but they moved into a different state. So, those are tough conversations they have to admit to their employer.
Yeah. True. Yeah, or the fact that they're working two jobs.
Or the fact that they're working two jobs without approval. Now, good people, let me tell you something. You can work two jobs. You can. Please look at the fine print of your your hire letter. Also, look into your business resources, because a lot of times it's okay for you to work two jobs, right? Not consecutively during the same time you're working one job. You can't work 9 to 5, both jobs, right? But if you want a second job out after you get off work from one job, there's no problem with that, but it can't be a conflict of interest.
Yeah, as long as it doesn't interfere with your duties and your tasks.
It doesn't interfere with your duties, or it's not a competitor, right?
Or it's not a competitor.
Like me, with my job, just with the investors that I work with, I cannot be a real estate agent. Does that make sense? I can't be a mediation housing counselor, a HUD counselor. I can't work for HUD part-time, or, all of those things. That would be a conflict of interest within my business. I can't sell cars. That would be a conflict of interest within my business.
Yeah.
So I can't financially, I can't do that. So, my part-time jobs are very limited to maybe data entry, working at a hospital or retail.
You can drive Uber?
I can drive Uber. Yes, I can. But a lot of those, jobs where it's two corporate America jobs is just hard. But if you can do it, big ups to you.
Yeah.
But definitely get approval from your employer. Admit it. A lot of times they know. They rather say, hey, you're going to get a second job than you quit. A lot of times.
I've seen it a lot in my field because I work in the IT field. And so I've seen, especially when everybody went remote, it was real easy for a lot of IT professionals to work 2 9-to-5 jobs. And I mean like high paying jobs, because if you got a certain specialty, you can do that. But if it's not a job where it's like, yo, you have to clock in, be on camera, show your work from 9 to 5. Like a lot of IT professionals, it's like, hey, a call came in, I'm gonna take care of that. Then I'm gonna go back to my other job and take care of that. And it bounced back and forth. I know a couple of people who are doing that like $80,000
I had a
jobs.
friend who had 2 remote jobs. She was traveling and doing all the
Right.
things. She was bringing all of her monitors with her. Like,
That's crazy.
Like,
That's
that's
crazy.
both laptops and monitors.
Yeah.
I was like, whoa,
Wow.
that's insane. Like, dedicated. But she was getting her bread. I'm not mad at the hustle.
So are you saying like
what are y'all talking about as far as y'all talking about the layoffs, the firings?
Yeah, just the temperature of, people do you feel like this is going to be, a domino effect within our housing market, or
I wouldn't say housing market, but I think it's going to be more of a safety concern, because there are a lot of positions, especially like government positions, that were let go that were like government security areas. I mean, we talking about FDA food regulations, or you're talking about just safety in general. There's a lot of issues, a lot of government positions that were fired.
Didn't they hire some people back?
Yeah,
I think they hired a few, not all of them.
Not all of them.
Yeah, not all of them. CDC got hit, and then they tried to bring some back because they had people that were monitoring, these high level disease, I guess, areas of interest, put it that way. And they were like, oh, well, we can't let them go. We're gonna call them back. But I think that's the worst part that makes the administration look like incompetent, because it's like, you guys didn't do any homework. Like, you just can't just roll the dice and say we're gonna let these people go or fire these people without having a full understanding of that, just to say you're saving money. And some of the money they're saving is not even, the money is already gone. The money is either gone already, or it was either already spent, or it was obligated to go anyway. So they're not even saving some of this money that from the people that they're firing,
Right.
So it's just weird.
The only reason why it looks like they're saving is because let's just say that, Leon, I have a contract with you. We have a contract of, I'm going to pay you $4 million a year, but I'm going to disperse it at certain times. You have to provide me paperwork to show that you did whatever job you had to do to get the disbursement. But by the end of the year, you're going to get this full $4 million. Does that make sense? So where they're saying is they're saving is because I've already sent you, Leon, I've already sent you $2 million. So they're saying, well, we saved instead of paying Leon $4 million, we saved $2 million because we're not going to give you, even though we're obligated in a contract, that remaining $2 million. So they're adding that. He's adding that in as the savings of, we say billions of dollars. No, because you're still going to you're still obligated to pay. I'm still obligated to pay you, Leon, your additional $2 million. Right.
Yeah.
Because that's in our agreement.
That's what's going on right now with some of the USAID stuff. With some of their contracts. They're talking about a $2 billion lawsuit against Trump and Doge and Elon because of there was contractual agreement for some of these funds. And it's not like you can just cancel it. You can cancel it, but you still got to pay them funds. Like, if you're not going to pay your credit cards, they're going to cancel it. However, that debt still exists. You still got to pay for that. So as far as this change in the climate, it's going to be huge. And I think the biggest, what's going to really take the biggest hit is like market sentiment. What does people think about it? You know what I mean? Like, are people going to be able to trust it? No, because they feel like trust has already been broken. And so that's going to be the hardest thing to build back up. Now, I got it. Don't get me wrong. A lot of areas, as far as in the stock market that took a hit, full-time investors, they're going to scoop up everything that's going low. But that's just how that works.
I'm scared to look at my 401k. I'm scared. I don't want to. I don't want to.
You better keep track of it.
I just, it's almost like, remember I told y'all about me doing the taxes, how it stayed red, it didn't go green, and I just, what situational avoidance.
You got about a month left.
That was my next question. Have you did your taxes yet?
No.
Yeah.
I was talking to somebody the other day. They said they did the taxes early January. I guess when it was.
As soon as they got them,
as soon as you can do it. But she said, she still ain't got a refund back. It's just taking longer now. I was like,
our president was supposed to get rid of our president was supposed to get rid of the IRS. So I was just waiting for him to get rid of the IRS.
Nah.
That's a good smart play, but They gonna
I'm
get
waiting
their
on
money.
I'm waiting on the tax strategist. I'm waiting on the tax strategist to come give me some pointers. Not necessarily playing the sand, but like playing the sand.
Right, right.
Man, I ain't got my tax yet either. I'm
That's what
still
I
waiting.
need. But I do want to let the people know, some people who've been laid off, for whatever reason, whether you work for the federal government or any other these corporate entities are letting people go due to AI being really big, right? So they're saying we can create an AI bot that can do that job. It's not, you don't need any human touches to send out a letter, right? You don't need human touches for, revealing and uploading data. So a lot of corporate America jobs are being a lot of people are being laid off in those fields where there's no human to human touch needs to be, right? Or it's being transferred overseas. So you see Brazil, a lot of things being sent to Brazil and their call centers, and India, and all of those that happens. But I want people to know, because situation avoidance is real, right? When it comes down to your home or even your car, and you can't afford that payment anymore, I need for people to really, really reach out to their bank. I need to reach out to your bank.
So what can the bank do? What can they ask the bank?
Resources. What is there available? So what was really great was HUD. HUD benefited. It wasn't just for, helping people and, low income housing or anything, of course they did that, right? But HUD is a universal program that was an advocate for customers that were going through financial distress and default on their mortgages. They played as a mediator or a go-between between banks and the banks and the customer. They would be the middle person that would ensure that the customer got the help that they needed and understood what was going on with their loan, and and kind of was able to speak the customer's language, because when you reach out to a bank, they speak in bank acronyms, right? So they're throwing all these different letters and different things out, and you're like, what? The HUD counselors were there because they knew all of the different acronyms and nuances that goes along with that, and they were able to explain it to you in layman terms. So with the dismantling of HUD, the middleman is gone. So what you have to do is you can't avoid your bank. You can't avoid your servicer. You can't avoid a lot of these things, right? You call them. One, you need to know who owns your loan. Just because you pay Chase Bank, that does not mean they own your home. Okay. Find out who your investor is, right? Yeah. Once you find out who your investor is, so I'm going to throw out a few investors that sounds that, that you're familiar with. FHA is an investor. Call that a Govy loan. VA is an investor. They'll own your loan, but it'll be serviced through Chase Bank or something, right? But they're the owner. Fannie Mae is the owner, but you're making your payments to Rocket Mortgage. Does that make sense? Rocket Mortgage they work for Fannie Mae, right?
Okay.
So Fannie Mae is telling them what to do. They have guidelines that they have to follow per Fannie Mae's guidelines, or the investor VA guidelines, FHA guidelines. They have to follow those specific guidelines, and federal and state. But it's important to know who owns your loan. And once you know who owns your loan, you can start doing the research, because they have help on their website. So if it's an FHA loan, they say you own FHA, you can go to FHAHUD.gov, whatever, and it'll say like foreclosure or default, or it'll tell you the process and the story, and it'll say what we can do for you, or the type of loans that they've told the bank. They told the bank that your particular loan the help that you can have for your loan. So I would get familiar with who's your investor, right? What programs can they offer you? And if you don't understand what they're saying to you, or it doesn't make sense, it is okay to stay on the phone with them as long as you want. Yes, we know call centers have KPIs and they sound like they're rushing you, but it's okay for you to say, you know what, hold on. I don't understand this. Also, look at your statement. Your statement will provide you with numbers of different housing counselors in your area that can be your middleman to help you understand what's going on. You can set up appointments with them. You can set up Zoom calls with them. You can go into the office. Sometimes it's just office hours 9 to 5. And you can bring them the statement with you or any letters you receive from your bank or your servicer and say, hey, I received this from my bank or my servicer. Can you tell me what this is? And they'll, walk you down. They'll ask you, are you working? What's your financials? They'll help you create a path to getting out of that situation.
Now, is
but
this
you have to be honest and all up front.
Is that kind of dealing with? Sound like you're saying dealing with people with that may be on their verge or edge of getting their cars repoed or their houses foreclosed or something like that. Is that kind of what you're talking
I mean, to be honest, after 45 days in North Carolina, baby, you should be calling. If you can't make your payment after the 16th of the month, and we all know your payments, your mortgage payments is due by the 16th, no later than the 16th, no later than the 15th to 16th, you receive a late fee. Right? We know that. That's in your documents.
Right.
If you can't make that payment by the 16th and you live in North Carolina, you need to call your bank. You need to call your bank. We are considered a quasi-judicial state. And what that means is that we have a very fast foreclosure process. Some states have longer processes. New York and Florida, they have Michigan, Massachusetts, excuse me. They have very long process. North Carolina doesn't. After 45 days, if you haven't made your payment, you're going to receive a notice of default letter, and they're going to demand all of your payments, all your past due payments up front, right? That you're past due. Then it goes down the path of going to foreclosure. And so that's what makes it, the quasi-judicial, because if it goes to sale, you have a certain amount of days, and I can't tell you. You can look it up, but you have a certain amount. Once it goes to foreclosure sale, right? You receive the auction letter, it's going to sale.
Damn.
You have a certain amount of days to purchase your home back at that sale.
Dang.
After somebody purchases it.
You're right.
Oh, wow. That's crazy.
So, take a look at that. But again, we are a very fast foreclosure state. There's a few. Georgia's a fast foreclosure state. Texas is very fast. We call Texas Tuesday. Homes go to foreclosure on Texas every Tuesday. Texas Tuesday.
Jesus.
You have to be... You can't avoid a problem. If you can't afford your mortgage after the 16th of the month, you need to call your bank and you need to be honest with them. And don't tell them the amount of money you say you claim on your taxes if you're a business owner. You claim on your taxes versus what you tell your bank you can pay and what you have are two totally different numbers. Trust me, I've been in this industry for 16 years. You need to be honest.
I'm going to just be a squatter. That's what I'm going to do.
I love that you're giving the people some things to do and think about because I'm pretty sure everybody don't know
right now. We're in a tough time right now, and people need to understand. And I know with layoffs and losing your job, terminations comes with a lot of stress and it comes with a lot of work. Right? You're getting letters once you can't stop. You're making the decision: do I keep a roof over my head or do I feed my kids? Do I pay this bill or do I feed my kids? And a lot of times your banker servicers can help you out and take that stress.
Yeah, like you said, most people, they'll probably just ignore the letters or just don't even reach out to the banks.
Oh, yeah.
They probably don't even know. They probably don't even know.
Lots of letters. They send you phone calls, they send you letters, and they'll send you emails. Whatever way of communication you have on file, they will look for it. They also will skip trace. So
but it's best to reach. Let's make it clear though. You saying it's best to reach out first before you start getting those letters, right?
Definitely best to reach out first before you start reaching those letters and ask questions. Don't just get off the phone. I hear people when they're like, okay, and then they don't really understand. Right?
Ready to get off that phone? No.
And they're ready to get off the phone because they don't like having that awkward conversation. But also understand that the process of helping you out can be just as burdensome as purchasing a home. With the gathering of the paperwork and, all of those things and things that they may ask for, it's going to be tiring and it's going to get lost in the shuffle. You're going to have to resend it probably 4 or 5 times. But if you really want your house and you want to keep everything you put into, you would make it work.
Right. You gotta live within your means.
You have to live within your means. But also, I mean, living within your means, when you lose your job, you know, no one's living.
True.
No one's looking at payments of, okay, if I lose my job and I get unemployment 365 a week, would I still be able to afford, you know what I mean? Would I be able to afford my mortgage or every single bill? We don't look at that when we're purchasing a home or even a house, right? We could save up the 6 months and have that in savings, but after the 6 months, then what? If you ain't got no job.
All right.
True.
So
a lot of people don't even. They say a lot of people don't even have, you know, $1,000 of emergency funds or $500 of emergency funds.
Yes. So, you got to, I mean, we're in a world right now. You have to start saving your money. One thing I look at, and I'm a shopper. I'm a shopper, but one thing I do pay attention to when I am buying something, if I don't have enough money in my account to buy 2 or more of that item at the time I'm purchasing it, then I don't need it.
Good.
I hear people say that all the time.
Good discipline. You gotta have discipline.
You gotta have. I mean, Cash Doll say it best. How you gonna buy a bag if you can't put a bag in it?
Oh, don't do that.
you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You can't do that. You go like, I saved up a year to get this Louis Vuitton bag. No, sis. Yeah. No. I mean, you can sell that. Sell it.
It plays a lot on people.
It's definitely, you could sell it and make some money and probably pay a bill, but at the time,
if you hustle, if you hustle.
I mean, there's plenty of pre-sale sites, right, where she can, but you're not going to get as much money as you pay for it out of it unless it's, you know, a Birkin or whatever. But I mean, I live by that. I'm not purchasing anything that I can't buy 3 or more at once at that time. No matter, I mean, car, I mean, I could finance too, but
I mean, one of the things that people are struggling with it is the fact that, you know, of course, cost of living is going up with inflation, but wages are going at a snail's pace, moving at a snail's pace. And so it's hard to get out of that. Like if you don't have a couple of streams of income and you're trying to save some money, you shouldn't be out here every Black Friday trying to buy a new screen TV, a new, you know, 50-inch TV. That's like $200. Save that little $200, please.
Yes. Save that money, add some money to it. You know, somebody was asking me about a vacuum, a Dyson. And I'm just like, but she wanted to get like the model that came out like I'm going to say maybe 8 years ago. Right. And I'm just like, why would you do that? It would be more, you would be better off. It would behoove you to save an additional $200 to $300 and get a newer version. Because the older one that you're buying, the model is going to be refurbished, right? That's like you going to get an iPhone right now. They're on 16, right? And you're like, oh, I want that 12. I love the 12. What are they going to say? We only have refurbished models if you want to buy it outright, right? Yeah. But it's not going to come with any warranties or any protections for you. So why not save up that additional $200 to $300 and save yourself some stress down the long run, and you know, get a newer model so that you won't have any worries. That comes with a warranty and all of the things. So we just have to be smarter with our money. And she was just like, it was online. She was like, thank you, sis. I needed to hear that.
Gotta be fiscally financially responsible. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of money, have y'all looked over or heard anything about the new credit laws for 2025?
I have not.
So they kind of talked about it. It's been talked about maybe a year or two ago.
Credit laws.
When they was talking about your medical bills being posted on your credit cards. On your credit.
It was that was supposed to pass where it's not supposed to be, right?
Right, but
yeah, take I guess your medical bills off of the credit.
What it was, if you had 3.
Okay.
I think it was it $500 or less, 300. I can't remember. I had to look it up, but it was a certain amount.
That won't move the needle on your credit report, so it has to be higher, right?
No, listen, I don't. I'm gonna look it up in a minute, but I'm gonna look at this right here.
Okay.
It said, where it go? Well, it said the CFPB predicts that consumers with medical debt on their credit reports could see their credit scores rise by an average of 20 points as a result of the ban. However, the rule has already been challenged in court. So, yeah.
That's the CFPB, so Consumer Financial Protection Bureau, people. That's what he's talking about.
What's the ban in particular? To have it on your credit or off of your credit?
Off your credit.
Okay.
To have it removed off your credit because it's keeping you, so it's affecting your debt to income ratio, right? So if somebody had a baby or something,
right?
And they want to buy a house, right?
The score dropping.
No, if they're removing it.
If they remove your hospital bills, period, from your credit, the credit bureaus, your scores are able to go up or should go. I heard somebody say like 70.
Your debt to income will increase because you don't that debt is removed, right? So say you had a baby or something happened and you owe $25,000, $30,000 in medical bills, right? Well, you wouldn't, even though you make a certain amount of money, because you have this debt on there, it's affecting that. So the bank is saying you can't get approved for that $400,000 house because you have too much debt to income, to your income ratio, right? So your percentage of defaulting or not being able to pay this bill is high because you have all of this debt. So they're saying remove that, especially first-time home buyers, right? It's not an even playing field. So the Biden administration was trying to give them, the Biden and Harris administration that's equity. They were trying to make it fair for everybody and remove that and allow them to be able to purchase that home, or any home, or be able to get a new car and just kind of make your life a little bit better with that off of your credit. Because you got to remember, you have that, school loans, debt to income ratio crazy.
Do you think that would have an effect on, say, somebody goes to the hospital, get something done, procedure done, they say like they owe $1,000, and they might have to go back? I'm just thinking
because
like
it just
somebody.
adds to the bill.
But I'm thinking like these people might not even want to see nobody or
the hospital can't deny you.
Right.
They can't. They
gonna pick and choose. They better not.
I always tell them, and people, this is another great resource. Hospital bills, there's no interest. Get on a payment plan. I do this. I tell them when they call me, you know what I tell them? This is what I can pay you every month. You can either get this or get nothing, right? Something or nothing. And they say, hold on, let me talk to my manager. And then they set you up. So if you can afford $20 a month towards that $30,000, zero interest, pay them the $20. If you have to go back again, they're just adding that bill to you're going to be paying it for the rest. I mean, as long as you owe them, they'll never be broke.
I always try to set my payments as low as possible, but pay more.
Exactly. You could do that.
That would be crazy if the hospital started charging interest. That would be crazy.
And that's one of the reasons.
Don't say it too loud, bro.
I know, right?
Right. But that's one of the reasons why the Biden Harris administration was like, why would you have this on your credit? It's 0% interest. You're not making any money off of it. You're just you're making money, right? Because you're probably anyways. You're not. There's no 0%. You're not making any interest off of this. Let's be honest. I'm not
credit bureaus, man. They slick. The credit bureaus, they're slick. They slick because they private entities. They slick.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Also, another resource tip. People won't be so mad at me when I say this. Stop paying people these credit guru people to get things off your credit.
Yeah.
Banks
it's that season.
And corporate companies, credit card companies, banks, financial institutions.
Yeah.
Stop doing it. Stop doing it. Stop doing it. You can remove things off of your credit yourself. You can call those people and say, hey, if it's charged off, you can, call your bank or whomever you owe and see if you can work out something.
Yeah.
And you really can build your credit back up on your own.
You can.
Take discipline.
It's better to pay something than what could possibly happen after the fact. And just because the credit guru says I zeroed off your credit means don't do it, people. I'm giving you tips. I'm giving you tips without giving you tips. I'm giving you gems. Trust me when I say this.
You You got to pay to get the dispute letters. That's how they be getting you. That's how they get you.
Don't do it, good people. Don't do it. Don't do it. You can do it yourself.
Season.
Another tip I learned about
Instagram
school loans. School loans, because I've been, y'all know the reason why I play on the Department of Education.gov website. I look at it every day. But I didn't know that you can go in and look at your different school loans. So if you owe, you pay like $99 a month and people are like, I'm gonna pay this forever. You can break it down. So you can go in and pay that $200 off and knock that off and not pay that interest on that. Right. So you can cherry pick which ones you want to pay off. If they're low balances, like some are like $47, but you wouldn't know because they just show you the full amount. You got to click on each loan. So, how it'll say direct loan 1 through 15. If you click on it, it'll say, well, this loan, you only borrow $150 or, you paid it down to that loan is, $400 or $300. And you can it gives you an option to pay that off. It'll say, if you want to send a check in the mail, send this amount. If you want to pay it online right now, you pay this amount. It's a couple of dollars cheaper and you can knock it off that way.
How many student loans do you have?
I have maybe,
oh Lord,
I think it said I have like 10 different ones.
Huh? You said 10?
10 different, because, 10 different loans, when you're going to school, I have my bachelor's, right? So when you're going to school and you're borrowing money, it's different loans that you're getting. So different quarters. So you're probably getting loans for books. You're probably getting, for classes, all of those things. So
all your needs.
All your needs. So it's just multiple different loans.
Yeah. Okay. Multiple. Well, I guess that ain't no different than having different bank loans, car loans, and all that.
It is. It's just also what I've looked at is like credit card statements right now, and they didn't have this before. But you can actually like flex it out, or you can pay like if you owe like $1,000, they'll do a drop down and you can pay it off similar to the student loan. So you can go in and cherry pick off your credit card instead of paying the monthly regular $25, or you think you're doing something by paying $150. You can actually instead of paying the full, if it's $34, pay the $34, but go down where it says pay this off, and you can break it down and just pay that off. Pay that shirt off that you paid $50 for and you added it. Then, next time you go and pay something off that you charged for $25 and knock that off. And you're knocking it out.
And then another well, I don't know if this is what you're talking about, but like when your payment, your due date comes, you don't necessarily have to wait for that due date. I don't know if that's exactly what you're talking about. You can pay something on it before.
Like it's called Flex, like American Express. I think it's like Flex Pay or something. And Discover has it too, where you can definitely pay it in advance. But if you look at it says all transactions, you go to your transactions, it'll say like pay this, like right now. You can pay this right now and just knock it out.
Right.
Nice.
And so, we've evolved.
Yeah. They're definitely making things a little more easier.
Yeah, they've definitely made it a little bit more easier for you to do, and also to release some of that, because let's be honest, you charging that shirt, but you'll go and eat and spend, $150 at the club, whatever.
Don't do it. Don't do it.
Don't do it. But it's just certain things, and I'm glad we've evolved. But good people, pay attention to your credit and credit cards, and start with the low hanging fruit. But stop paying these credit card people. These guru people,
they take care of
your money.
Hey, it sounds like you're referencing my boy.
Who's your boy?
Oh my God,
Dave
Ramsey.
Yeah.
Dave Ramsey.
Oh, Ramsey.
No, I don't mind David Ramsey. I think he has an older way of doing things. I think David evolved, right? I mean, you could do the snowball and then you pay that off and then you put that money towards it. Yeah, it's similar in the same thing, but you don't have to wait for the next paycheck. If you have money set aside, just go and knock that off. Pay that off instead of the monthly payment, because he has you do the monthly payment, and then once you pay that off, you move and take that money to go to the next one. Just pay the long hanging fruit.
Yeah, that's why I try to tell some people, pay your debts off first before you try to jump into investing, because it's a different feeling when you just debt free, And I'm not talking like, good debt, like a house or something. I'm just talking about retail debt,
consumer debt.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Pay that off, man, because you don't want to be you don't want to have FOMO and miss out on some type of investments. But yeah, you still got these, these debts over here that need to be paid off too. And now your money is stretching thinner and thinner, So if you can sacrifice, put that money into knocking those debts out, because once they go away, they don't come back unless you do something stupid,
You know what I used to do back in the day? And my mom thought I was crazy because I'm like really big with like paying. I've always been fiscally responsible. But back in the day, I would take my credit cards and like instead of using them, the goal was to pay them off. I used to put them in a sandwich bag with water and I used to freeze them.
I'm sorry?
What?
Because back in the day, you didn't have like your phone. You couldn't pay on your phone or anything. You had to physically take your credit card out or, to when you're paying at the store or whatever. So to keep me from using my credit card.
So that stopped you from using it?
Yeah, because it wasn't available and I wasn't, in the headspace to be like, oh, I can give you my ID and you can look me up.
Thought this out real quick.
So I would put it in a plastic bag, put water in it and freeze it and put it in the back of my freezer because I wouldn't even want to wait to like unthaw it and do all the things. So it worked. It worked.
Wow. Hey, but to be honest with you, if you want to make some changes, you're going to have to make some extreme changes. And I think, that works. It's just like people who want to lose weight. Like, hey, you got to have to make some extreme changes if you want to change your body and change your habits. Yeah. So I'm with you on that. It sounds unorthodox because, I think a lot of people are not committed to making changes, like, to doing something to make changes like that. So I'm with it. I vibe with it.
I think that's kind of like
I just started using the wallet on my phone. I just learned how to use the wallet. I want to say maybe 3 months ago. Y'all don't talk about me. 3 months ago, I just learned how to use the wallet on my phone. I like to give you a credit card, right? I would give you a card or whatever. So this is pretty much still new to me.
Yeah.
And my friends are like, wait.
I'll be scared I'm gonna mess something up. I don't use it.
Man, my friends was like, wait till you start using it on your phone. Ain't nobody gonna be able to tell you nothing. I literally could not figure it out for the life of me. I remember I was in a drive-through line and I looked and I didn't have my wallet with me. And I had already ordered. She was looking for the money. I looked at my wallet. I looked at the girl. It was a young girl. She looked at me. I just handed her my phone. I said, I don't know what to do. You're gonna have to do it. And she did it for me.
Damn.
Because I didn't know. But now, I use the wallet. But because I like that instant thing of giving you my card, I've been doing it for so long. Yeah.
That's kind of like when I'm talking about
fees. Because it's easy to swipe.
Pay my mortgage with a check.
Yeah.
The first probably 8 years, I paid my mortgage with a check.
Yeah.
I physically went to the bank and paid with a check.
I mean, that's old school though. I'm gonna be honest with you though, keeping it real, like 100. Like the more old school, the more traditional it is. Like I've noticed those people have more of the financial responsibility because you're involved with it. You're just not spending blindly.
Right.
It's like I'm writing checks, but I'm also balancing the book. At the same time.
My mom would teach me. My mom was an accountant growing up. So
that helps.
That's where I get like, the money and the paying with plus where I work. So that had me, the business that I'm in, I pay my mortgage to you directly. Like I need that receipt showing that you received my mortgage. So being in the business that I'm in. So that was one of the main things, but also working with, my mom, and I would see her balance her books and all of that. So I was a skilled 10 key person in the 5th grade.
That's a skill.
It's kind of like when you talking about freezing your credit card. So we talked about this maybe on the last episode and before about high interest banks.
High yield savings.
High yield savings account. Yeah. Like you can put money in, as far as saving, put money, and the reason they are good because you can. Most of these banks are not your local banks. So you can't you just go to the bank and pull your money out. Right. So you put your money in those type of banks, you get it's 2 advantages. You get more interest, And also, you're not. Most of the time, you're not going to try to go pull money out of it. You might forget about it.
Unless it's like a dire emergency. Most of the time, you'll forget about it, to be honest, because it's not one of those banks you can go and, withdraw the money. They're,
I have Ally. Sometimes I don't even log in. I forget I have it sometimes. I think about it. And I got savings.
I'm like that. I
have Capital One, Western Bank, which I've never heard, but they were just they had a very high, it was like 6%. I just caught them. It was one day it was 6%. Western Alliance.
Okay.
Capital One, and then
Capital
American
One,
Express.
SoFi. Yeah, I got the Capital One, the Power Savings
American
account.
Express.
Yeah,
but I don't. You gotta do what works for you. But
you gotta learn first. A lot of these people gotta research. Research, man. Like one thing I used to do with my credit cards was like pay off my big bills with my credit cards so I can get the points. So I get credit card points and rack them up, and then just pay the credit card off.
But you got to be you got to be very responsible to do that. That takes a very skilled individual. I got a friend who used her Amex every month to pay off her bills outside of her mortgage and everything. And I was like, wow, you do that? And she would be like, yeah. So then every year comes around, I'm like, okay, I'm going to try that. And I did it. But you have to be very responsible because your bank account looks great, right? Because you're using your credit card. So your bank account look like, oh, I can shop. And I got
that ain't real money.
You need to pay that. You got to pay that bill.
That money already spoken for.
That money is already spoken for, and you got to do it. People get tempted to be like, well, I can only pay. They only asked me for 114, so I'm gonna pay the 114 and keep all my money in the account and do whatever. And it's like, you gotta. In order to get the points, you got to pay the bill.
Right. Yeah. I did that a lot.
So that's that is another tip, Larry. That's good. If you can pay things off with the credit card, get some points. That's less money you have to spend if you want to go on vacation. It'll be covered.
But it's got to be. You got to make sure it's worth it though. Like if it's some cash back or it's points that you can actually put towards something. Like I bought my first juicer off of credit card points, like 5-6 years ago. But you use it for travel. You actually get cash back. You get grocery when you buy groceries. Like, it's helpful. It really is.
Sometimes I forget I have points.
But that's good though. You keep
racking them up.
That's good.
Yeah, I got American points, Hilton points, Marriott points, JetBlue points.
Yeah,
do it.
I went to Brazil. That's how I got to Brazil. I went to Brazil on points. I think I only had to pay $100 for taxes.
Oh, that's dope. That's dope.
Wow.
You know what I mean? Because you got points. But
I like that.
You gotta find what works best for you, and also a good sale. Don't do all that, and they only offering you 10,000 points. Yeah, that ain't gonna get you nowhere.
Or they only offer you points that you can only spend with them.
Wait a minute. Yeah. Speaking of a good sale, go to impelforwardmerch.com. That's impelforwardmerch.com. I got a sale going on.
There you go.
impelforwardmerch.com. Yeah, I got a little sale going on. Yeah. Go get your merch, impelforwardmerch.com, impelforwardmerch.com. I got some spring is coming, summer's coming, so I got my sweatsuits on sale right now. So
nice.
Go get you some. Yeah.
Tell the people what your good sister got you for your birthday.
Oh, she got me. I can't move and go get it, but got some shirts. Say YouTube, Impel Forward, YouTube.
Okay.
Gotta wear it. Yeah, gotta wear it out somewhere.
Yeah, you do, bro. Like a little walk around the mall.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's dope. He's his own walking billboard.
Yeah.
For sure.
Appreciate it.
Like, why not?
Yeah.
Low cost marketing, bro. Low cost marketing.
That's right.
That's what I'm saying.
Might get me some more made.
Yeah.
I got it. They have everything on file. So
yeah.
You just gotta tell them what you want.
Yeah. Well, anything else y'all want to talk about?
Oh, you know what? I just got something from Duke Energy. Did you receive this?
Lord.
Duke Energy, where they're offering credits if you like enroll into some of their winter, annual winter bills credits and summer, where I guess they help you. I don't know if they control your air. I feel like if you get a nest.
Oh yeah. We had
like
it
at the barbershop. If you get a nest or something from them, they will kind of control it.
Yeah, we had it at the barbershop a couple years ago. We canceled that.
my friend was like,
Yeah.
it's hot in here. It's
You don't
hot
want
in
that.
here. And so she would turn her heat down and Duke would turn it back up to where, because you know, they say in the summertime, you should be your heat should be at, your air should be at 75, right?
Nah.
She was saying it was too warm. So she was bringing it down to 69. And she said she would leave, like bring it down, leave, go in the kitchen and come back and be like, it's hot in here. And they would turn it up. Like they would, they're monitoring it from things. So
we had that a few years ago in the barbershop.
Damn.
Yeah, we got to cancel this thing because they control our air. Like, be hot.
Can't be micromanaging my 18 now.
We had to cancel that. But yeah,
I mean, the savings, they increased the savings. So, winter, if you want to do it, it used to be you would get $24 back. Now you can get up to 40.
Oh, okay.
So now, you can get 56 in the summertime, up from 32.
Yeah.
So combined about $100 savings per month. It depends, that can benefit a lot of people. So definitely look into the Duke credits if you have
having that much control though.
Man, they better go turn that hair up and down with them fingers.
Yeah.
I didn't know, because I was like, I even came in our house. I said, girl, why is it so hot in here? She was like, that's Duke told me, that's what Duke said my air should be on. Man.
Yeah. No. What Duke told me.
That's what it is.
That's what happens when because they sell the Nest and they sell it at a discount. So it's the same Nest they sell at Best Buy for like $100 but Duke will give it to you for like 56, right? And they'll come and have somebody install it. So you enter in to get these credits.
Yeah.
But they're, through their system, they're monitoring. So they're saying in the wintertime, even though you like it at 70, they say nah, 65.
Yeah. Tripping, man.
I mean, it depends if it's worth it for you, right? Yeah. Definitely look into those credits, but I think we talked about a lot. Check into your bank. You're going through financial hardships and you have a mortgage. Check out everything with your bank. Don't be afraid to take advantage of some of these government and state programs, especially state.
Don't wait too late, people. Don't wait too late.
Yeah,
not wait too late, and don't go through these credit gurus. I'm telling you. I'm telling you.
They ready. They be in my inbox. They be in my DMs.
You can't fix your own credit. You can't fix your own credit by just paying your bills.
Credit.
Yeah.
Just remember, the letters look repetitive. So what do you think? I'm leaving you with that.
Copy and paste that joint. I need to get the Chat GPT on there.
Not even Chat GPT. If it looks the same, because they sign it, right? Because they're sending you the companies a letter on your behalf.
Right.
The gurus, right?
Speaking of Chat GPT, y'all need for y'all that's listening, learn how to work AI. It's a whole lot of different AI platforms that you can use, download the app, and at least try them out.
Yeah. You know what? Somebody was telling me.
Be behind in this.
They said they can. You can do your grocery list. You can tell them like, "Hey, Chat GPT, I only have $100. I have 4 kids, and I really love to shop at Aldi's. Can you create me, meals for the month?" And it'll create meals, high protein, or you can tell them vegan.
That's kind of
dope. Can be very specific, and they will create a bill, a monthly or a weekly grocery list. It'll tell you the prices and everything, and it'll meet that dollar amount. Like it knows what's on sale or what you can get at whatever store that you want. You could do Whole Foods,
I'm gonna play with that.
Whatever, Walmart, and at the end it'll say, and your budget, your amount, this totals $96. You can tell them I live in North Carolina, and they're gonna look up the tax and everything, and it's gonna tell you your dollar. It's gonna say, get this meat, get this type of noodle, it's this price, everything.
I'm gonna try that. That sounds.
I'm curious. You know what app that is?
Chat GPT.
Oh, chat. Oh, okay, yeah.
I'm curious to look that up.
Here go a few more. Suno, SUNO. I can't remember what exactly these do. I was playing around with them a while ago, but Suno, SUNO, midjourney.com.
Oh yeah, I played with Midjourney before for graphics.
Runway,
Gamma,
and Goldie. Goldie is GOLDEE.ai. And Gamma is GAMMA. And then Runway is Runway. Midjourney.com. So yeah, those are a few. I got a couple ones written down in different places, but Yeah, matter of fact, that just reminded him I got to get in touch with somebody who's real diverse in his AI. I want to have them on here. So
that'd be good. But yeah, definitely take a look at the grocery list. Be specific. Let them know. You can let them know you're on a budget. You can say you receive SNAP benefits, and you create me a list based on what I can purchase for for my household. We're vegetarian, using SNAP benefits, and it'll give you a full breakdown every day. You can do this on Monday, breakfast, lunch, dinner.
And one thing about ChatGPT is it keep adding different things to it. More updating, keep updating it. So it has a lot. It has a lot. So make sure you get
also
familiar
those
with
that are still boycotting
Target,
such as myself. Target and Amazon. We're on Amazon now. If you're looking for certain items, you can tell them like, hey, I used to purchase this at Target, because they know what's going on, right? I used to purchase this at Target. Can you tell me somewhere else based on, what aligns with your values? What store has this that carries this that, still aligns with DEI inclusivity values? And they'll say, hey, you can buy this at, and it'll tell you, and it'll tell you the price and everything.
Trader Joe's. I got you. That's what's up.
Yep. It'll say Trader Joe's aisle 7. It'll tell you the aisle and everything. It's an amazing feature. It's almost scary, right?
It is scary.
It is.
It's scary since day one.
I put a lease in there. I had to go over his whole lease. I pop.
It tells you to break it down.
Breaks it down. Yeah.
So, or you could tell it to highlight things that you that would be important to me that could affect me in the long run legally.
Exactly what I did. Yeah, all that. And once the answer, you say, "Give me more." Break this down. What does this mean? Yeah, that's a lot.
Yeah. But for you on that, I would take it to another program as well and have it do the same thing and see if it pulls out the same exact thing, or maybe one system will find something different because in legal documents maybe possibly our legal terminology that are not always the same. It can be interpreted differently for everybody. So definitely for legal documents, you utilize more than one if you're going to use that.
Right.
That's what I can give you.
Yep. Well, that's it. Well, that's good. It's been good conversation. Make sure y'all tap in, and I hope y'all got some tips today on the Impel Forward podcast. We try to give as much information as we can. Sometimes we just talk. Sometimes we just talk, but we try to give information.
Good.
I think we gave out some gems today.
Yeah. You gave out some good stuff. Yeah. So y'all go do what you do. All right, there you have it for another episode of the Impel Forward podcast. For sure. Remember, seize the opportunity to grasp your dreams. Peace.
And hit the merch store.
ImpelForwardMerch.com.